Alright, folks, we are back. More Gran Blue. Quick, I guess, little thing. I don't know how often I'm going to mention this, but, you know, December is the 1 year anniversary of me doing this whole YouTube thing. My first video went up on December 20th, so I figured for December, you know, we could do some fun stuff. We're going to be doing a lot more of, like, this kind of, you know, like, less ranked gameplay necessarily, maybe still some, but more just, you know, discussion videos, tier lists, like, more goofy shit like this. It should be a good time. Will this tier list be rigged? You know? I don't know, maybe not, but yeah, what we're doing today is, as you can probably tell by the title, and if you're here in the stream, same thing, we are going to be ranking characters based on, in my opinion, how much I believe that their mains downplay the character. Now, with that in mind, these tiers are not, you know how I like some more descriptive tiers, some more verbal tiers. Happy 1 year anniversary, thank you very much. Where's the tier above S called Voss mains? Yeah, this will be interesting, right? But yeah, so. Let's kind of rename these real quick before we get started. So, yeah, the highest is going to be the most upplayed, I think. So let's just, the most downplayed, right? So let's just call this, I don't know, let's call this lying to your face, you know? Oh, my character is just a poor, honest mid-tier who does no damage and can't zone. Wait, sorry, I'm getting too specific already. Yeah, okay, yeah, some of you already know who I'm referring to already, right? Yeah, sorry, my bad. But yes, lying to your face, we'll call that. Let's call this like minor downplay, right? Cope. A can be the cope tier. I like that. I'm gonna call it minor downplay, just like because I think some of them need to be a little bit more descriptive, just so it makes any kind of sense at all, right? Yeah, so we'll call this minor downplay. Let's call B honest Abe. You know, honest Abe. Just yeah, like it seems about right. You know, like either this could be many things, right? Either the character is really strong and they're like, yeah, he's busted. What can I say? Or it's, you know, they're like, the character's like, you know, relatively middle of the line or relatively weak, and they're like, yeah, it's like it sounds about right. Of course, it's all subjective for me, right? Like my own opinions on how strong the character actually is versus how strong their community thinks they are, right? Is going to factor into this pretty heavily, right? But we'll see. All right, that Djeeta song's looping a little bit too much. For C, I guess it's, yeah, same. So the other side is gonna be upplay actually, right? This is rarer. This is much rarer, right? Like I think people went overall, especially with like how usually the more you complain about a character, like devs actually do kind of listen, and sometimes it feels like it can affect the patches just a teeny weeny bit. So I feel like upplay of characters is not very common, but we're gonna have it here anyway. I don't know if I'm gonna put anyone in here, but we'll have it here for now, and we'll see. And then I guess, yeah, let's call it hopium for the major upplay. We'll call it hopium. Yeah, I saw Colin mentioned that in the YouTube chat. I like that. So again, yeah, lying to your face, minor downplay, honest Abe's about right, minor upplay, and then hopium. And we'll get started here in just a second. Before we get going, I guess, you know, we're gonna be trying lots of new different kinds of content over the course of December here. So, you know, if you like something, let me know. Like this is more, the feedback here is more important than ever. We're gonna be trying lots of different kinds of videos. If something that we try you guys really like, we can maybe even past December we can continue doing that sort of stuff. So, you know, if you want to like the video, if you liked it, all that, it helps out a lot. You want to come by and hang out on the streams too? Should be a fun time. So, anyways, in my opinion, for Belial, everyone knows how good he is, but we say he needs buffs. Yeah, so we'll go kind of in order here. So with that in mind, Gran. All right, here's the problem. One, I feel like there's not a lot of people who play this guy. Like Gran is surprisingly rare. I feel like, at least in like people who are very vocal about the video game. However, I will say, I have to get like little scraps and pieces of just like different discussions I hear sometimes, and I do hear people call the Gran players do say like, oh, you know, like he's just an honest footsies character, right? And like, yes, Gran is by no means like some sort of terror that is like, you know, he's got all this cheap shit, right? But this Gran guy, man, like he's got that 2U, he's got that JU, he's got a plus on block 2M, right? Like he's got some neutral skips, like I don't think it's horrible, right? But just I think Gran, I don't think he's slept on necessarily power level wise. I think he gets away with a little too much of just like his mains going, ooh, I'm just a small bean, I'm just an honest footsies neutral character, and I'm like, no, like this is a war criminal game, but like you've got some stupid shit, and you're pretending that not minor downplay, yes, minor downplay. Also, what's going on, Kel? All right, Djeeta mains are interesting, right? Because it's I get kind of like the tale of two. Gran mains are honest about it though. That's not what. Minor downplay. I've seen a lot of, but Gran is just an honest character, which I don't really think that's true, right? Djeeta's interesting. Djeeta's kind of like, so Djeeta did like genuinely receive some significant nerfs. A lot of this is going to be like post Versusia patch, of course. Like the way people talked about their characters varied a lot, but like she got that 5U shit was nice. Like Djeeta's still pretty good, right? I get the sense from Djeeta players that they are like, is it wrong of me honestly to feel like I say Yeah, I was gonna. Djeeta is major downplay. I don't. Not from what I've seen. I mean, I get the sense from Djeeta mains that like they're like, yeah, like you know, the character got some nerfs, the character got some buffs. They downplay hard. Who's they in this case? Like she's kind of honest. Well, okay, it's not the character though, right? It's not the character. This is how much the like. If say Djeeta was top 1, but all of her community said, oh yeah, she's top 1, then yeah, it will be honest take, right? I'm talking about the difference in how they all call her the worst Shoto. Interesting. I've not seen enough of this. Maybe I heard a lot of downplay before. I was gonna put her like around minor downplay, right? Again, yeah. What the rest of the community also thinks doesn't matter, right? It's more so what like the Djeeta players themselves, when I hear them talk, what they say, right? And it feels like she gets a similar treatment to Gran, right? Like I feel like it's again, they just go like all the Shotos who aren't like Belial and shit, right? Or they just go like, oh, but I'm not that guy. And it's like, well, okay, but you still got some, like you got some silly shit on you for sure. Okay, Katalina, can I be honest with you? I feel like I never hear Katalina players go, yeah, man, or the buffs didn't even matter, right? Like Catalina's insane, and I feel like everyone I talk to goes, yeah, like no one who plays Katalina goes, yeah, she's not even that good, guys, right? Like, is that just me? Like, I feel like she's, I haven't seen much Djeeta downplay in my opinion yet. I feel like Katalina is very strong, but yes, the Katalina players will all be like, yep, character's fucking broken now. Right? So like, this is a good example of like, this character is very strong, but all the mains go, yep, fucking hold that shit. I'm gonna light wall, I'm gonna far M you into a single, like far M poke into you fireball, into the corner carry from screen to screen, you're gonna hold that shit. I'm like, you know what? You gotta respect it. You almost gotta respect it. Cat players, yeah, like they understand that they're almost celebrating how much she got buffed, right? Charlotta mains don't exist. Shit's too good, you can't lie about it. Yeah. You'll talk about her strong stuff, yeah. Charlotta mains like don't exist. I don't know. Like I don't know what Charlotta players say. Like as far as like the community at large, I think people think Charlotta's a little better than she is. But like, I don't think I've talked to a Charlotta main. We don't. Yeah, like I don't know, man. I'm gonna put her in honest just because I haven't really heard that much discourse on Charlotta's power level. Like the main person I hear talking about how good or bad Charlotta is me. So like I don't even know. Right? So I'm just gonna say honest and assume that that's probably fine, right? Someone go hit up Zerom and ask. Yeah, like I haven't heard Zerom like talking too much about like, oh, Charlotta's broken or Charlotta's so weak or something, right? So like we'll put him in honest and move on, right? These guys also don't exist, but I do hear more talk from people who play Lancelot, and yeah, Lance is an up play. Lance got nerfed in the patch, right? And I think a lot of people are just like, and he has since fallen off a lot of people's radars and stuff like that, right? And I feel like I've seen some Lance mains talking about like trying to make you think Lance is cool. That's interesting. That's an interesting axis. I haven't thought about like trying to make him seem cooler or funner than he is. That's a good point. But as far as a power level standpoint, I have kind of, again, it's one of those things where like he got nerfed and they're like, oh, he's not even that good anymore. Lance is still quite strong, right? Yeah, like he's definitely fallen off, and he's not like one of the best characters in the game anymore, or like in that discussion, probably, I don't think. But he's still really good. He still mixes the shit out of you. He's still like a very solid character. He's still like, on the higher end, like somewhere in the vague range, right, of like the upper half of the cast. So we haven't gotten to anything egregious yet. But again, I got to, like when I hear Lance players talk about the character, they're kind of just like, oh, you know, like they talk about all the things that got nerfed in the character, and the character did pretty much only get nerfed, right? Like he can corner steal. He can corner steal like now on 5U where he couldn't before, but he mostly only got nerfs. He's still real good though. Like he's still real good though, really. Like he and they kind of talk about it like, oh, you know, look how they massacred my boys sometimes. Again, Lance mains don't really exist, but when I hear them talking, I do hear a little bit more. Some Lance mains actually got gutted. Yeah, exactly. Some people act like he just like got shot in the head, you know, and all that. Percival? This guy. There's a lot of characters who don't exist in this game, huh? The only real communication I've seen from Percival mains, to be fair, is actually like a lot of them just like posting, hey, look at this like 9,000 damage off like command grab in like Twitter clips and shit. You know what I mean? Percival was quite good, and he got buffed pretty hard in the patch, right? But like, honestly, I kind of feel like I don't really hear too much from Percival's, but what I do see is them being like, look at this cool combo I can do now with this like, you know, 8,000 damage or whatever. I never heard of a single Percival main. Yeah, honestly, I'm not sure if they're mains or not. I've just seen Twitter clips, people being like, look at what Percival can do now. So I'm just gonna, kind of like similar to Charlotta, but in the sense that more so, I see them talking about like some of the strong stuff he got. I'm just gonna put him in honest tape and move on, right? I don't think I have too much to really talk about with the Percivals, right? I only see them talking, yeah, just like, you know, look at how he can explode you off X combo that exists now. I will say, on patch day, I feel like a lot of them, or I guess it was more so in the previews. Yeah, it was before we got the full patch. I was gonna say on patch day, some of these motherfuckers were being like, these changes don't mean anything. Why'd they even do this? These are fake. But I think that was no. It was more so under that one singular Twitter clip, like where that Gran themselves posted, showing like the changes, right? It was like the U stock change, right? And they're like, this doesn't do anything. We saw the rest of the patch notes. We're like, oh yeah. Also, Mortian, thank you for the prime. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Gran on minor downplay. I think you guys get away with to say the character's like, no, he's just an honest little boy. A little bit too much for my taste. All right, can I be real with you? Can I be real with you for a second? Can I be real with you for Ladiva? This is weird, right? This is kind of like the Ladiva players. I think are downplaying the character. This is the one that I'm the most familiar with because I see this every single day, right? I see like and Ladiva is not in a good spot right now in Gran Blue Fantasy versus Rising. Ladiva is not a very strong character. However, the way that some of the Ladiva players be taught, listen, I love all y'all, and I'm not quite as active in that Q&A discussion thread as I used to be, but I read it every single day, man. And the way some of y'all are talking about the character, you make her sound unplayable, right? I understand she can be very frustrating, right? She can be very frustrating to play. Closer to the center of the tier list, the less delusional people who play that character are. Yeah. Like, she can be very frustrating to play. The ways you can lose, right, can be very frustrating. I understand. But, like, the Ladivas do be talking about this bitch. Like, she literally is unplayable, right? It's like, there's a cloud of doom over the community right now. We'll see if that gets fixed, if they do anything nice for her in Season 2. And again, she's not very good right now, but she's not as bad as people, as the Ladivas are saying she is, right? It's kind of crazy. Like, they act like it's, like, 100%, like, they can only win if they just gap you super hard. I'm like, no, the character is still, like, it's still, like, yes, the slot machine is not as good as it should be, but the character can still definitely just, like, command grab you 3 times in the corner and you're dead, right? Like, it happens. And she gets Oki off that shit. And, like, she's not very good at dealing with Brave counter or backdash or whatever, but it's not that bad, guys. Man, these zoners do not talk very much, huh? They're just talking about the Able matchup being unplayable for hitting one button and killing me. Yeah, it's a downplay. Metera. What the fuck? Anyone ever spoken to a Metera main recently? As a Metera, we're an incredibly dishonest bottom 0. The zoners don't exist. Yeah, maybe I'm on the upplay side. Most Meteras kind of do. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to like look back into my into just seeing like random stuff on Twitter or in the Discord or just in my YouTube comments or something. I'm trying to be like, or like in just like general videos and discussion. I'm like, who? What do they talk about? Okay. I don't know how this is in NA, but I would say Metera will be placed at the top. Oh, like you're saying Metera is like giga downplay? It's gonna vary community to community for sure, right? But yeah, like, I feel like I just haven't some of the most devious downplayers, really. Yeah, I just haven't seen, like, this is kind of like another Charlotta one, right? Some, like, this is when I talk about, the game is not, like, Gran Blue does not have a fully fleshed out competitive scene, right? And this is kind of what I mean. Like, I think Metera's downplay hard for the nonsense Metera can do, even if zoners are weak. I will say, I think in general, yes. I think, in general, zoner players, it's kind of like Ladiva, right? Like, how the characters are not very good. I don't think, some people don't agree with this, I don't think. I don't think Metera is very good. However, I do think that, it kind of rides the wave a little bit too hard into just like, oh, it's so impossible to do anything with my poor character. And that's the only real talk I hear from Metera. It's like, oh, everything's so hard. And the character's not great, I don't think. But kind of similar in like the Ladiva spot, I think, right? Like, just like, the character is not very good, but they're talking about him like they're unplayable, right? I'm a zoner in a game that hates zoners. Yeah, kind of runs around. Yep. All right. Dude. Lowain? I feel like, is it weird to say that Lowain players, it seems like they think he's fucking great? Is this wrong? I feel like Lowain players all think the character is better than he is, no? I'm trying to like think back to all the, I feel like this is the general sentiment I'm hearing. Yeah, like Lowain players are like the most, that sounds about right? Okay, Lowain players are like the most optimistic people I've ever met, right? Yeah, like Junior Jam talks. Yeah, Junior Jam's always talking about that. Any Lowains I ever hear talk about how like bro, like the buffs and like the thing, and he's got and the bro fans always got me and shit. Honestly, I wish that the Gran Blue community at large was as optimistic as the Lowain players are. Lowain's busted. Salt Prophet is Lowain's strongest down player. That's a good point. I forgot about. Yeah, Salt does not like Lowain very. Maybe I'll move him into minor upplay just because I have seen this Salt Prophet guy. That's fair. That's fair. He's a big voice in the community for sure. That's a good point. Maybe minor upplay. Maybe because he like by himself he kind of does it, right? Okay. Can I be Lowain is good with K? Yeah, I mean it's not that Lowain is bad, right? It's that is the gap between how good Lowain is, in my opinion, and how like the gap between that and what his players say about him. If he's like pretty good and they all say he's like top 1, well, that's still hope you, right? Here's one of the big, yeah, so here's an interesting thing, right? Here's an interesting thing. I think, let's not hop on the fairies too hard, because I think we as an entire community, like, really fed this line to them, right? And again, like, I think Ferry is not very good. I think Ferry, if you want to say Ferry is the worst character in the game, then maybe, right? Sure. I don't think anyone is, like, stand out horrible in this patch, right? However, I think there was a huge overreaction to the Versusia patch and the one-sided dominance meme and thing, right? That's a cute little Gigantify there. Thanks to the bits, MD. But yeah, so I think there was a huge overreaction to what happened in the Versusia patch, to the point, and yeah, exactly, everyone's saying one-sided dominance and shit, to the point that, like, Ferry's not this bad, guys. Right? Like, no character, like, there's a lot of, like, Ferry is literally unplayable talk that hovers around even now, like, to this day, even months after the Versusia patch, right? Ferry is minor downplay. It's a very similar thing to the Metera and Ladiva. However, again, I don't think this is the Ferry player's fault, right? I don't think this is gonna look so bad. Ladiva main puts Ferry here, but you know what? You can screenshot this and not hear any of my reasoning as much as you want. It's inevitable. I think we as a community, we have a hand in this. We have a hand in this. I think it's not the Ferry player's fault necessarily. I think we all help them out with this, and we all do this too. I think Ferry is actually quite bad, and yet Ferry's really bad, or relative to the rest of the cast, and yet we downplay her so much worse than she actually is, right? Like, we somehow have gone even further past where we actually should be, right? The character is fine. Like, the character, she's, like, everyone, even all the characters who are on the weaker end, right? So, like, you know, like, Ferry, Metera probably, Ladiva probably, oh, sorry, let me move them up here, but yeah. Like, there's a lot of characters, like, they're not, you know, maybe even Katalina probably. Like, everyone can win, right? Everyone can win. Everyone's got, like, some cheap shit, you know, like, everyone's got good stuff. Ferry gets talked about so often in a way that, like, this character literally can't do anything. I will say, I've heard community sentiment kind of, like, rolling back on this, right? And then all of the other fairies just kind of, most of the fairies just drop the fucking character anyway, right? But I do unironically think this is one of, somehow, despite possibly being bottom 1, she is still heavily downplayed, right? Are tiers ranked? Not really. We can try to vaguely rank them after Ethan, but I don't, like, yeah, ordered? Not necessarily. We can try to rank them after maybe if we feel like it. All right, this is interesting. Can I be honest? Okay. I gotta say Zeta players feel honest to me. I feel like every Zeta player I talks about how stupid it is that she can do what she can do now, right? If anything, I feel like Zeta is more so, like, everyone downplays Zeta except the people who play her, right? The people who play the character go, this character's fucking stupid. And then everyone else goes, I don't know, man, where are her tournament results, right? Like, the people who play this character go, wait, what the fuck did they do? And then everyone else tells me, oh, well, they haven't even won any, where's her results, man? Potential woman, right? So I actually feel like, and this is my opinion, I think Zeta is as strong as the Zeta players say she is, right? I think everyone else is downplaying her. If you think that Zeta is not that good and, like, where her tournament results, then she goes, like, here, right? Then she goes here. But, like, I personally think the character is very, very good, and all of their players are agreeing with me, so subjectively for me, I think she's on a state, right? Salt Prophet does not believe in Lowain? Yeah. That's why, like, again, a lot of Lowains I hear are very positive. Salt Prophet is very unhappy with the character. That's why I had him here, and then I moved them up to here, right? All right, oh, I'm gonna get in trouble for this one. Oh, I'm gonna get in trouble for this one. I am gonna get in trouble for this one. I guess I technically am a Vaseraga player in some ways. I am gonna get in trouble for this one. You guys are, oh man. I will never, ever escape the fucking yoke of all these motherfuckers who think that Vasaraga's like top 5 somehow. I don't understand it. I really don't. Voss are lying motherfuckers? Jesse downplays the character really hard. Yeah, this character's fine, man. He's strong. Right? He's strong. Boss man's throwing up the shotguns? No. All of you are gonna shoot me. The boss man's gonna be fine with me. Yeah, Jesse's the one who downplays the most for sure, but like, yeah, that's one example. But I think a lot of the other Vasaragas go, yeah, you know, like he's got some dumb shit for sure. He's got some dumb shit, but like, you know, he's got X weaknesses. Like, I'm gonna put him like Jesse by himself. I'm gonna put him in minor downplay, right? But like most of the Vasaragas are pretty honest. Like, yeah, character fucking kills you when he puts you in the corner, but he's got X and Y and Z weakness, right? like the only person I can think of who like really genuinely downplays this character is Jesse, right? A lot of the other strong Vaseraga that here talking about him go, yeah, he's pretty stupid, but he also has X and Y weakness. I think some people go, yeah, he's got X, this is pretty stupid, don't brave counter him, he can do so much damage, but he has X and Y and Z weakness. People go, what the fuck do you mean he has weaknesses? What do you mean ult tackle's not a reversal? What do you mean you command grab's not a good reversal? Brick, you also downplay him? That's what I'm saying. Like, some of y'all are not going to forgive me for this, because apparently I'm a Vaseraga down player thinking he's like mid, A+. Right? Thinking he's like, top like 15 or something. Apparently that makes me a down player because the character's not like top 1. But I think he's fine. I think he's strong and he's got well-defined weaknesses, right? He feels like a more extreme version of Versusia to me in terms of his strengths and weaknesses, for example. Okay. Alright, hold on a second here. Let's talk about Narmaya. Let's talk about Narm. So, not on patch day, okay? On patch day, Narm players were right here, for sure, right? Narm players were definitely right up here. I think as time has passed, and people like have really just pointed out that like the EX sets and a nerf didn't really mean that much, and like flip is actually like a crazy move right now and all that, right? I think the Narms are actually like pretty close. Like I hear a lot of them just talking about here's the problem, right? Here's the problem with some of you motherfuckers, right? The problem with some of you motherfuckers is that Narms will be like, hey, you flip, here's the counterplay to you flip and regular flip, and you go, whoa, fucking down player. How dare you talk to me about the answers to your strong moves? What do you mean it has counterplay? I just want to complain about flip. Flip is one of the moves I've seen the most fucking complaints about for what I feel is like a very disproportionate amount of like no reason. Like, it's a strong move. Like, people go like, oh, I can't believe that Narmaya has flip. How the side games, how'd you give Narmaya flip? What's wrong with you, side games? Why does flip work the way I'm like, bro, like, it's a good move. Yeah, like, it's strong. It's quite strong. It's like the defining move of the character now for sure. But I'm like why? Like, chill, bro. Like, characters have like looping meterless fucking 50/50s that work in the mid screen in this game. Like, why is like it's not like it's okay, right? It's okay. Like, she's right, like, people are like, I almost want to, like, I feel like Narms are almost, it feels like Narms have to, like, defend their character a little bit, right? So, like, I almost want to put them in honest. I'm going to put them in minor downplays. I think some of them are still just like, oh, I can't believe they shot the character like this in the patch, right? But, like, I feel like a lot of the times, all Narms are doing are going, yeah, like, here's what you can do about flip, and everyone just goes, what the fuck do you mean you want me to counterplay your move? What do you mean what I can do about flip? Flip killed my family. Like, bro, like, it's fine. Like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. Like, I was trying to tell you counterplay to my character. Like, the counterplay exists. Maybe it's not the easiest all the time, but it exists. I promise, right? So, like, that's what it feels like sometimes watching Narmaya's talk to people, right? Yeah, people complain about flip more than they complain about like fucking Lucillius. But yeah, I'm gonna put her in minor because again, like, combined with the patch day stuff and some of that still like carrying over, right? Narmaya players share their secrets all the time. Yeah, like Narm's like super willing to like share tech and stuff. But some of them will still tell you that like, oh, like, the thing is though, I will say, sometimes Narmaya players just go like, the reason they're a minor downplay and not honest is like those same Narm players, they won't be like, oh, like, here's the counterplay to flip, but but X and Y and Z problem could happen, right? They'll be like, oh, just like jab it. Like, they'll say like, oh, like, it's actually easy, right? Like, beating flip's actually easy. It's not actually, like, I've seen like, oh, just, yeah, like, bro, like, just hit it. Flip's not even that good. And therefore, they're a minor downplay, right? But, like, a lot of them are just like, yeah, like, they're sharing counterplay and they got shot in the head for it, man. It's crazy. I know the counterplay, will I react? No. Will I complain? Probably not. See, the probably not at the end there is what some people are lacking, for sure. Soriz mains don't exist. Soriz main, like, I feel like Soriz mains are, I don't know, like, I feel like they don't complain about their character, like, they don't talk about their character's strengths almost ever, right? Soriz mains is kind of like, they just kind of go like, oh, like, he's cool, I like him. Soriz, I like Soriz because he's cool and he has muscles, and I like muscles. And yeah, and they also talk about how, yeah, they talk about how, like, 623H is, like, a crazy move and shit like that, right? I feel like they don't, like, there's almost, like, there used to be a tier for, like, doesn't talk about their character's strength, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna say, like, straight up, like, there's like, doesn't, only memes, doesn't talk, I can't spell, hold on, doesn't talk strength, right? I feel like Soriz mains will, like, I've never heard a Soriz discuss how good the character is. They always just go, Soya! And they post, like, the gif of him flexing, or, like, the gif of him and, like, Huygen, and that one, like, the gif of them just, like, standing there in their underwear or shit like that. Like, I feel like I've never heard a Soriz main talk to me about how strong Soriz is. Like, I don't know. Like, I actually have no Honestly, we can put Charlotta mains in here too. Like, these players don't talk about how good their character is, right? The Charlotta mains just talk about how they love potato and how they don't think and how they love so much, right? And like all the Soriz mains, it's kind of like they just go, I like big muscle man punch flex, and that's it, right? It's like, yeah, they're chill, honestly. These guys like don't really talk about the strength of their character at all. I do think Soriz is pretty good, but like, yeah. Okay, can I be real with you? These Zooey mains, man, they gotta the character's not this bad. These Zooey mains gotta shut up. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, okay, they don't gotta shut up, but like, Zoe's do them a little bit too hard, I think. So like Zoe's be talking like there's no reason to play the character anymore, and you know she's. A lot of them do just say that she's mid, I guess. Okay, can I be real with you? A lot of the Zoe's that I've talked to go like, my character is mid tier, but they don't go, my character is mid tier. They go like, my character is mid tier, and like it's like with tears in their eyes, right? Like they say that the character is like mid with like tears, and they don't say that she's bad. They all say she's mid, but like, yeah, Zoe mains are scary. Yeah, I haven't heard any Zoe mains. You don't hear them every now. I almost put her in lying to your face. It's weird, right? Because like again, they don't say that she's bad, but the despair in their heart with which I hear Zoe mains talk about how okay the character is like confusing. You know what I mean? Like they don't talk like they say like, oh yeah, she's like probably, you know, somewhere in like the middle of the pack, but like they talk about it with like such a heavy heart that I'm like, it almost confuses me. I can't tell if they're downplaying or if they just like want her to be top tier and she's not, or what exactly. Zoe players flip flop from what I've seen. It's so over, it's so back. Yeah. I already see Ferry, and that's crazy. If you missed the context, it's fine. Don't worry about it. May think you hear them complain about all the Thunder changes. Yeah. They act like she's gonna be removed next patch. Yeah. So like they talk about her with, so they don't say she's bad. Just haven't talked to enough Zoe mains. Well, here's the thing, right? Again, I've talked to lots of Zoe mains. They say that she's like okay, but they say it in such a way like okay means the character's bottom one. Right? Like, there's not a lot of characters who are okay in the game, right? Like there's like they say it like she's okay in a game where like everyone else is broken or something. It's certainly strange. There's some downplay going on for sure. Zoe went from mid and fun to mid and boring. Yeah, that might be why, right? That might be why, perhaps. Yeah, because it's despair, exactly. I don't think it's like a ton of downplaying on the actual power level. They just talk with it with so much despair. Is it gonna be like last time with the subs? I don't think so. I don't think so. Yes, thank you, Zach. They say she's okay in a way that makes it sound like Doomy. That's a great way to put it. Thank you. All right, I mean, listen. All right, I mean, what the fuck do you want me to say? I have not ever. I feel like the only Cagliostro player I mean, listen, maybe this is Nezu. Like it's not just. I don't know what to tell you, man. If you're a Cagliostro player and you're really sad hearing me say this, I don't know, man. Downplay Cag. All right, hold on. Yeah, I got you. The thing about Cagliostro, the thing you don't know about Cagliostro is that, have you considered the fact, right? Cagliostro, the thing about her, guys, is she doesn't do any damage, right? You see, you get some high damage combos, maybe sometimes you get the proper trap set up. That's like so situational. It like never happens, man. And like she's supposed to be like a zoner apparently, but she can't even zone. Like she only has she has like spike, and like yeah, I guess it's okay sometimes. Like come on, they took away the invuln on her DPs in the patch, guys. But M Spike, everyone keeps talking, M Spike got so buffed, It's still minus on block, it's -1 on block. What's the big deal? Far H isn't even that good of a normal, guys. Like, it's not even, like, okay, like, it's fine, but Cagliostro Far H is so good. You've seen Belial lately? You've seen Siegfried? You've seen Lucillius lately? You're talking about Cagliostro Far H? Come on, man. You're talking about Cag Far H in this game? I don't know what to tell you. She's like, fine. Like, she's got some tricksy stuff. Your big problem is you just need to learn the matchup. Your problem is you don't know how Cagliostro works. If you understood how Cagliostro works, you would realize, well, her shit is fake. He's got no mix, man. J22H is not even that good of a throw bait. It's not. Just literally stand block and close L and she dies. She needs a full combo for throw baiting. What are you talking about, man? The character's not even that good. She's not even that good. You just don't know the matchup. You just need to lab. You just don't know how to lab. You never learned how to lab, man. You're stupid. That's why you think she's bad. You're stupid. You're stupid. Do CAG players even say she's fine? That seems charitable. Maybe. Honestly, yeah. Maybe I was being too nice to them. But yeah. So I mean, are we gonna be? Right? Are we gonna? Right? Are we gonna be? Are we gonna like talk about it much? I think that was enough, right? Okay. Can I be honest with you? Can I be real with you? So I'm thinking about Yuel right now. And I'm thinking about like So Kix is like consistently, like Kix will not shut up about how bad Yuel is, right? The one time I thought, like the one time that Gucci talked to me about stuff, he was kind of talking about like, you know, I feel like Gucci almost made me think that Yuel was better than she was. The one time he was like he beat me in a tournament set and he was like explaining some Oki or something like that. I don't know. Yuel players are definitely dooming. Yuel kind of awkward in terms of downplay. It's weird. Like I feel like a lot of the Yuels that like, there's not that many of them to begin with, right? But like part of it, yeah, like definitely part of it is just memeing. And then when I talk to when I talked to Gucci, he did not talk about how ass or bad the game was or anything, or the character was. He was kind of talking about like, yeah, like here's setups and stuff, right? So I almost feel like he's either here or like weirdly enough, I think Yuel is better than she is after playing her for a bit. So here's the thing. I don't think Yuel is that good, right? So like this is where I personally don't think Yuel is that good, right? And as a result, if they think he's like kind of bad, I'm kind of here, right? Yeah. Oh, Kix is over here, right? But like I feel like some of the Yuels I hear, they just they're being relatively honest about the character. Just the character is lacking a bit, right? Yuel mains do not care about zoning. They'll complain about fireballs a lot, right? Like I think a lot of the Yuel posting I see is just kind of like I got that Yuel in me and shit like that, right? Like the only person I hear who like really talks about character strength a lot is just Kix, right? And Kix is very negative about it. Other times I hear it, they just talk about it more so in terms of like tech and stuff. But yeah. I feel like the main thing I have in my head with Yuel is just like memeing, right? It's just like steals your La Yuel, returns your La Yuel. I got that Yuel in me. Yep, all that. So, all right. Here's the thing, right? Here's a weird one. Yeah, see, exactly. Steals your La Yuel. Yeah. Here's a weird one, right? Uno. So Uno mains do exist. Funny enough, I have found like the Uno mains exist, and they're like all in my fucking Discord server. Like I know you're gonna say like, oh, where's Unos don't exist, right? But like unironically, is it weird? Like I feel like Unos are. Honest, it almost feels like Unos to me are like, even though I think Uno is very good, I feel like Unos are like actually upplaying the character to try and get people to play him. You know what I mean? Like there's like, the character is good and they admit it. I almost feel like they make him sound better than he is because they just desperately want someone to play their character. Is what it feels like to me sometimes, right? Like they do admit the character is good and he is good. But yeah, I feel like it's like a minor amount of upplay. It's just like, bro, like he's cool. Like come over to Uno Nation. We have a good throw bait and good zoning guys and our parry and. The Uno is good, but there are better options. I mean, that exists for almost, unless you're like top one, that exists, right? But I guess in his archetype of like weird sort of all-rounder, zoner of rushdown guy, like I don't even know if that's true necessarily. Unless you want to put like Belial in that camp or something. There's more friends, yeah. Please play my character. He's cool. Yeah. Like exactly. I feel like yeah, Uno. Uno is good, and the players will tell you that he's good. But like, I feel like there is sometimes they put a little bit of an exaggeration on it, just to be like, see guys, Uno, he's got sauce, guys. Uno has sauce. I promise. And not wrong, but when I lose on Uno, I always feel like it's me, even though he does have weaknesses. Yeah, Uno feels very good. All right. So here's the So funny enough, all the Eustace mains I have sort of converged upon me because I've been trying to learn the guy. Right. It's weird. I feel like I don't hear insurgents talk too often, for example, about like whether Uno is like, not Uno, whether Eustace is like good or bad or something. I think Eustace feels mid adjacent to me, and I feel like that's the general vibe I get from some of the Eustaces. I feel like Forgiven upplays the fella a little bit, right? But yeah, I don't know. I feel like Eustace mains are more so on that like they're just like sending DP loop Twitter clips to each other back and forth. Like it feels like they don't interact with the community at large as much. Eustace mains are hard down players. Just win, yeah. I feel like I don't know. Personally, I don't think Eustace is great, and I think that's like roughly like he's fine, and that's roughly where I hear people talking about him who play him too, right? So, like, if you think that Eustace is like top 5, then yeah, they're like right here because they talk about him like he's like pretty mid. But I feel like he is pretty mid, so I don't know. I'm gonna put him. I don't even know, man. I feel like.
Very good.
I'll put him, Yo, Snoop, thanks for the prime, man.
Smart and attractive.
It's like I almost want to put him here because I feel like most of the time I hear Eustaces discussing the character, they usually are not really discussing. They're not really discussing the strength of the character too much as they are just like look at this like cool weird fucking mid-screen DP loop setup I found. We lie to your face 100%. I don't. You do maybe Forgiven, but I think you lie in the other direction. I think you think this character is way better than he is. Forgiven. I'm gonna put him here. I'm gonna put him here just because I don't know. I don't know. Minor downplay. Listen. If you come here in the middle when you miss my explanations, nothing's gonna make sense. Okay. All I hear is look at this bomb combo I hit. Yeah, I feel like they just all talk about like, bro, look at this. Like, isn't this cool? Look at these like incredibly impractical DP loops that I will hit like 1 in every 75 matches, but it looks so saucy, dude. It's so saucy, dude. All right. Seox. Okay. Here's a weird thing, right? Here's a weird thing. I have not talked to enough Seox mains. I'll tell you, I think I can't tell, the community at large feels like they think this character is worse than he is, right? I have not talked to enough Seox mains to actually know what they think. I think I haven't talked to, like, Seox fell off the face of the earth despite not being bad. Yeah, like, I almost feel like, I guess, here's the thing. If we're gonna say, it feels like a lot of the Seoxes almost, like, just don't play the motherfucker anymore. They, like, picked someone else up, or, like, dropped the game or something. Right? And, like, in that case, I guess he probably is being downplayed, because he is still good. He's worse than he was. He got nerfed pretty significantly, but he was very good, and now he's still good, right? So, like, in that case, I feel like that's... Because I feel like he disappeared because a lot of his players just, like, stopped playing him, I think. So, like, that is downplay in a way, I suppose. So I'm gonna put him... I don't think it's, like, I don't hear... If more Seox players were, like, still playing him and talking about how crazy he is, or how, like, bad he is or something, but I feel like a lot of them just, like, I don't know. I just don't see this guy anymore. Like, I just don't see him anymore. Seox may just play top 1 and switch to Belial. I don't think Seox was top 1 before the patch, but sure, I get the insult you're trying to hurl there. But yeah. Seox mains, they don't really exist anymore, and I think that in itself kind of counts as downplay. They're like, oh, we got gutted in the patch, but he's still quite good, right? But can I be real with you? So Vira's not amazing in this patch, I don't think, but I was talking to Char was saying that the Viras were saying she was, like, bottom 5. Like, I don't think Vira's that bad, man. Like, this is downplay for sure. I'm just trying to figure out how much, right? Like I think Vira, like, I think Vira is, like, not great. Vira's not great, but I think she's fine. I think she's, like, she's, like, not that bad, and, like, Vira's talk about her, like, it's so over, right? Like, it's another one of those cases where I feel like, even though the character, in reality, this is, like, a smaller scale version of the Ferry stuff, where, like, in reality, the character is not great, but I feel like the players talk about her like she's so much worse than she is. And, like, maybe they're right, because they play the character and I don't, but, like, it feels significant, man. It feels significant. Like, Char told me this, and my jaw hit. People talk about Vira being bottom 5. I just don't see it at all. Right? Like, I think the character is, like, fine. Like he feels like a similar strength level to Zooey to me, but then the Vira mains tell her that she's bottom 5, right? Vira mains might be second to Cag. Who's putting her bottom 5? Char told me that all the Viras were dooming and they thought she was bottom 5. He said he didn't think she was quite that bad, but, like, he was telling me Viras were talking about her being bottom 5, and I'm like that's too much. That's too much, man. Reason Vira mains downplay so much because the bad matchups were made much worse in the recent matchup? That's fair. I don't think she's great. Keep in mind, this is not a character strength tier list, right? Like, Katalina is really strong, but her players will be like, yep, hold that light wall, dumbass, and that means she's honest, right? The character is very strong, but the mains will tell you, fucking skill issue, right? Like, just get far emmed into half your health, idiot, and, like, that's honest. This is not, just because Vira is here does not mean she's, like, secretly broken. It means that, like, I feel like she's pretty fine, and the Viras are talking about her like she's unplayable, and that seems weird to me. All right, bro, can I be real with you? The Bubs players, I feel like... I was gonna say, it feels like the Bubs players are upplaying, right, minorly, right? But can we ignore Otto when we get to Abel? I've only heard Otto's opinions on Abel before the patch, which aligns with mine. I'm actually not sure. But yeah, I feel like Bubs players are, like, kind of, like, the character is strong, by the way. Like, the character is good. Bubs is not weak. Bubs is a strong character, but I almost feel like the Bubs, whenever I talk to Bubs players or hear Bubs players talk about their character, they're just like, they talk about him almost a little too positive, right? Like, they're just happy to be here. Like, they're almost here, but they talk about character strength things with, like, a lot of love, right? So I almost feel like Bubs is, like they know he's strong, but they think he's maybe even a little bit better than he is, right? Like, I don't think any character, there was no community that was as happy when they saw, like, the little preview video in the Versusia trailer at EVO, more than the Bubs players. Like, the Bubs players saw, like, they immediately locked onto Unisonic and, like, Chaos Caliber being a separate cooldown, and it was all they would fucking talk about for, like, a month. Like, they're like, bro, it's a separate cooldown now. They're so happy. Like, again, honestly, that's, like, incredibly, like, I can't put him in Hopium because he is really good. Like, Bubs is very strong, but, like, they're so happy. I respect it a lot. Like, I'm not trying to make fun of them at all, right? Like, I feel like he's good, but, like, they're so happy all the time. Get light walled, idiot. Yeah. Don't be lying to these people. Char. Listen, you walked in and you told me the Vira Nation thought she was bottom 5, and I can't. It's okay. I can be wrong. This is about what this tier list is how big the gap of my opinion of your character versus the player base of your character. And I don't think Vira's that bad. So I'm just gonna say that like I think she's fine, and people are telling me she's bottom 5. I think that's too much. That's insane. That is like a very strong level of downplay. No disrespect, man. Yeah, maybe you're right. You play the character, you know her better than I do, but I just don't believe it. For me, there's a big gap there. All right, let's talk about Belial. It's weird, right? So on patch day, right? On patch day, Belials were like here. Right? On patch day, Belials were right up here. Like, Belials were being like, man, the buff didn't even matter, and like he got nerfed, guys. Like, what are you talking about? Like they were really telling you that like what happened to the Versusia patch was totally fine, right? However, I think they have kind of over time, and once we realized how big the U Fireball change was, and like just the fact, you know, I think they have yes, like everyone said, I'm agreeing with chat here for sure. I think as time has gone on, they've almost regressed to like a meme statement of it, where they're like, yep, he's real fucking good. Hold this 2M, asshole, right? Like here you go. Like, yep, get 2M, get Far 8, like, you know, get U Fireball. I love me some U Fireball. Like, they've almost reverted down to like, yeah, they're memeing. Yeah, they say Belial's honest, but they're memeing about it. Like, I think it feels very clear to me. Like, Belial players, like every Belial player is. Let me see if I can find this GIF. Hold on. Let me show you this real quick. Yeah. Well, let me pull up the Discord right here. Every Belial player is like this GIF. Wait. I lost it again. Belial. Like, they all feel like this. Like, they all just, like, understand they got away with fucking murder in the patch, and they're gonna continue to forever, and they're just happy about it. Like, they're smug about it, but they know the character. You know, they know he should have gotten nerfed harder and didn't. But, like, they're like, fuck you, man. Deal with it. Character's broken. And you know what? Just like the Catalinas, I gotta respect that. If you're telling me, yep, 2M's broken, Far H is broken, U Fireball's broken, right? React to the command grab, dumbass, and you 2-0 my ass. I gotta hold that. At least you're being honest. I gotta hold that. Able. Isn't my dearest brother? I've been caught in the Belial mix meme. Yeah. Oh, inserts. Yeah. Exactly. Like I think Belial mains meme about him. With like they say he's honest, but they know for a fact that that's like they're obviously joking. So I think they're honest. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think what I heard from the Able mains when the patch dropped and so far, like, it's just that, yeah, Able got way better. Why is Vira at the top? I missed the explanation. I think Vira's not great necessarily, Crimson, but I think Vira is like pretty. He's fine, and the Vira players talk about her like her ass is bottom 5, right? So NA is so different. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be there. I only see the NA discourse and like maybe some of the Europe and South America discourse. So that's about it, right? But yeah, Able players, they seem to be like, yeah, like Able got big buffs. We're happy about it, right? I almost want to say that I feel like Able's people hate this character. People hate this character, so they're gonna like make me. They're gonna be really mad at me when so many of these placements out of context, right? Motherfuckers just like didn't watch this, and it's inevitable, right? They're gonna see these and be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" and all that. The comments on this video are gonna be amazing, I'm sure. However, Able actually is quite good this patch, but I almost feel like Able players talk about him like he's better than he is. Like he's not. Like he's real good, but like you know, I don't know. Like he got good buffs and he's quite strong now. But I almost feel like Able's. Able's almost like they're a little bit too like they're like, even though he is good, it feels like they're upplaying him a little bit. I hate Able players because they play their character like their character doesn't kill itself. Yeah, I've been upplaying him. Yeah, like again, this does not mean that Able's not good. I think Able's quite strong in this patch, and I think he's actually probably a little bit stronger than someone of his archetype should be. However, I think the Able's talk about him like he's even more like he's even better than he actually is, right? This is a hard one, right? Where do we go? Anila is not very good right now. However, this feels like Ferry lights to me. Anila is memes, maybe. I do hear a lot of Anila's talking about her strengths. I see a lot of memeing for sure. I post this in the Discord. The Vira players are angry at me. I would go for it. Yeah, they'll be angry at me too, I'm sure. Anila players first off don't exist. Second, when they do talk about her, it is oftentimes, you know, memes and boobs and thirst traps and shit, or like Buster Wool. However, they do talk strength, and when they do talk strength, they talk about this character like she is, you know, like she just can't do anything at all. I feel like this is like Anil players are super negative about this bitch, and she's not good. She's not good, right? She's not good, but like it's a little much. I don't know if it's like a little much, like if she's like, I mean, but at the same time we have Milk Me Anila, who okay. To be fair though, right? The loudest voice in the community is probably a guy like the loudest representative of Anila is probably just the guy who shows up in Diaphone's videos all the time, Milk Me, just talking about how much he wants Anila to give him a breastfeeding hand job, right? So like, I almost want to think that it's just memes. Like even though like when they talk about her, when they talk about strength, they I love like the delay in chat. Like I love when I say something, I just know that in like 15 seconds it's gonna be crazy. But yeah, so like I've seen Anila Cords celebrating being bottom 0 on tier list till I'm dry. Yeah. Is Anila the weakest Shoto character? Generally curious. I mean, she's kind of she's almost she's maybe it's hard. Maybe. I just lost to him too. Okay, that guy's not one of us. But the thing is, right? If like, listen, if your largest representative is such, then I almost feel like. Then I almost feel like he kind of speaks for the community just by virtue of Diaphone giving him a platform, I don't like it. Okay, Anila is going either in only memes because, breastfeeding hand job, or is it minor or major downplay? The character is not good. I feel like I don't see, okay, here's how I'm going to put her in minor downplay, right? Because I think the character is not as bad as they talk about her being. However, most of the discourse surrounding Anila is not how bad she is. Most of the discourse surrounding Anila by her players is like either I want to have sex with her, or she is so cute, or I love hugging sheep, or something. Like it's something like they're almost here. But when I hear enough strength talk about her and her being like a little worse than I think she actually is, they'll put her here, right? Whereas like the reason that Ferry's up here, for example, is that even though Ferry is really bad, the discourse surrounding her from the players is so negative that like it's almost too much, right? And it's all they talk about. No one talks about anything with Ferry. Except with just, how horrible she is now or something. I'll be real, as an Anila main, I think it's major. It's the same thing he said about Ladiva. These motherfuckers make it sound like she's unplayable sometimes. Well, yeah, but again, I feel like the characters are actually in like pretty bad spots, right? And it's not the entirety of the discourse surrounding the character. Like, so the reason that Ferry is a very similar case to like Anila and Ladiva and Metera, but I think that the difference is the only discourse, honestly, the only discourse I hear about Ferry is that she's unplayable. Can I be real with you? Now that I think about that, dude, the Ladivas are not gonna, streets are not gonna fuck with us. Can I be real with you? Oh man. Shit. Streets are not gonna fuck with this one. Shit. It's the only thing they talk about. It's the only thing they talk about is how unplayable the character is. Fuck. He's not good. He's not good. He's not good. He's not good right now. But it's the only thing they talk about. They're my people. They're my boys. But it's the only thing they talk about. I never hear Ladiva's talking about every now and then someone posts a clip of like, Ladiva's J360U like catching a DP on startup and everyone goes gap, and like we all have a good time. But like Ladiva's don't talk about anything except for how worthless the character is, and that feels like a little much. It feels like a little much. Oh man. I think I have to be honest. By the way, again, the character is not strong, but they only ever talk like I have had. Like, for example, I've told Ladiva mains that, like, Ladiva's, before Potbuster got the damage buff, I told Ladiva mains that Ladiva's EX command grab into 360U was the highest damage command grab out of any of the main fighting games right now. And they all told me there's no fucking way Ladiva's command grab does no damage. And I'm like, well, if you think about, like, the literal math of the percentage HP, she does more than Zangief, EX SPD, and more than Potbuster. And I just, like, didn't get a response, basically, right? Like, the hatred for the spot this character is in right now, like, overshadows a lot of actual things they did right in the patch, I think. Cat kind of need her own tier above at this point. We'll put her at top left and we'll call it there. Alright, Siegfried is kind of in a similar spot to Seox, I think. Like, where the character is still very good, but he did get nerfed in the patch, and I feel like a lot of his players just, like, either, like, reactionarily, like, jumped and played someone else, but, like, I think it's still like, I think the prevailing sentiment I hear about him is that he is still good. I think for the same reasons as Seox, right? Seegar upplaying? I don't know. I think it's hard to upplay Seox. I see Brick hasn't seen all the dooming about Yuel. It's been going on since the patch came out. I've seen a little bit. I think primarily I still mostly see, steals URL Yuel, right? Only the carry people dropped. Yeah, I still feel like Siegfried, like, I think it's hard to upplay Siegfried. He's very good still. Honestly, I'm gonna put him in, again, for similar reasons as Seox, right? I think the reason he's going in minor downplay is because the reaction his player base had, insofar as like it feels like a lot of people are playing Belial or Lucillius or some other character now, right? That feels like too much to me. Like, he didn't get nerfed that hard for the exact same reason that Seox is here too. Sieg isn't downplayed. I feel like Honest at max? I don't think so. I mean, Sieg is still very strong, and the patch was not that big of a deal. And I feel like the player base treated it like more than it actually was. You know, he could go in Honest. He could go in Honest. If you were saying upplay earlier, though, I think that's insane. How the fuck is Sieg being upplayed by anyone, right? And again, I'm not talking about the community at large. I'm talking about his players. But I feel like I don't see anyone upplaying. The mains are still saying he's good. Yeah, the ones who are still there, right? Again, I think the fact that a lot of people like I guess maybe if you want to count those people as not Siegfried mains, right? And but so in which case, sure. All the Sieg players I know just didn't care and kept playing him. Maybe. I will hear Sieg players saying he's the okay. I guess that's. So here's the thing. This is where it's just like a creative difference. If you think that the people who just dropped him, the people like on patch day, if they just don't count as Siegfried players, then fair. Right? Then in which case he goes in Honest. Because yes, the people still playing the character are not really, they're like, yeah, he's strong still, right? However, if you think that like Siegfried Exodus is any kind of, it matters at all, then I think he goes here. And by that logic, I think Seox goes down here too. Like these two are tied at the hip because the exact same thing happened to both of these characters. Where like they got nerfed, they're still quite good, and then like, just like a lot of people dropped them, right? So I feel like these guys are like the exact same thing. So if either they're both here or they're both here. Interesting precedent because it's going to affect what we do for Nier. I got a whole other thing for Nier. I'll tell you what. Actually, I haven't talked to the Niers enough, but I'll be honest. I have a whole different thing for Nier. Both honest? I still don't believe the patch was even a nerf for Sieg, just a change to his routes, if not a buff to his mid-screen. I don't know about all that. I think the fireball getting sped up, like I think it's definitely a nerf, and also it's not just neutral. It also makes some of his pressure, like his like trickier pressure strings, a little bit more easy to autopilot spot dodge too. So it's definitely a nerf, but it's not that big. I agree with both honest. I generally feel bad for Nier players. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with both of these guys going here because again, the people who still play the character are not really saying that the character's broke, like completely dead or anything. The only reason, again, if you want to put them in minor downplay, it'd be because of all the people who dropped them like on the patch day, right? Nier's a mixed bag? Yeah, so Nier's an interesting one, right? Nier is an interesting one because... So Nier is the most nerfed character in the game by a lot, right? Say no to ads, kids. Thank you, Lakitu. Thank you for the 3 months. Yeah, so Nier it got horribly nerfed. And I think a lot of the Nier players ignore the community at large because the community at large just like... I just don't care to hear the opinions of people who don't play Nier on Nier anymore because it's just annoying at this point, right? People just, I get it. She was strong. I get it. I still think what they did was dumb and she could have gotten nerfed a little bit less. I get it. But weirdly enough, a lot of I don't know if this is still the case, but a lot of the Niers, like a lot of the good Niers that stayed on Nier feel to me like they actually like are like upplaying the character a lot, right? Is what it feels to me. What's going on? I saw you in both chats, Steeler. What do you yelling my name out for? Is this something about Abel? What do you mean we upplay Abel? Yeah. I think Abel got a lot better, but I feel like Abel players talk about him like he's better than he is. Give her back her Raging Strike though, yeah, like the really like like Eno and Elsa and people like this are like the main people that I see who like disagree when I say that Nier's really bad now, right? I know Elsa was saying for a little bit when the patch first dropped that they still thought Nier was like top 10, right? So like again, I could be wrong about this. But insofar as the size between the gap of how good I think the character is and how good it seems like the dedicated Nier players think she is, they kind of feel hopium to me, right? Like they feel like Nier players, the dedicated Nier mains who are still there, feel like they are stronger. Like they think the character is way stronger than I do. They could be right, by the way, but from my perspective, it kind of feels a little bit hopium, right? Like, they're kind of talking about her like. Even Elsa isn't a dedicated Nier main anymore? Yes. So, with the caveat of, I haven't heard Elsa's opinions on Nier for like a couple of months. Like, it was only a couple of weeks into the patch that I heard Elsa say, like, I think Nier is still top 10. I don't know anymore. I don't know what Inochi's thinking. I don't know what Elsa's thinking, right? I don't think, is Koji Coco still, I think I saw Zippy's on Lucillius now or something, right? Maybe minor upplay. Just because I think as time went on, they got a little bit more sad, right? Maybe they got a little bit more sad, I think. Koji Coco's on Belial, yeah. Elsa in contention to win tournaments, they kind of have to pick a real character, yeah. So, but again, that kind of shows that they don't think that Nier is necessarily as crazy as they want, right? Eno doesn't like where Nier's at? Oh, okay. Maybe, again, I might have the main time that I talked to a lot of, like I heard, or even just like heard a lot of Nier discourse from the Niers on how strong she was pretty soon after the patch. So it's possible they were smoking some hopium. and like they later realize like, oh no, the character's actually like they maybe went a little bit too hard on her, right? Oh, you want to say hi to Geef? We can do that. Before we get into Grimnir, that'll be a fun one. I'll put Nier in minor upplay because I still feel like compared to I think this is more so coming from like my opinion on Nier is very negative towards her current strength, right? So I think I'm gonna the Nier still feel a little bit more optimistic than I do, so I'll put them in minor. We'll put them in minor upplay. All right. Hello. Here we go. Let's get Zangief on screen for a second here before we talk about Grimnir. Let's get Zangief on screen. He says hello, hi. Here he is, my actual human son. There we go. Here he is, the boy, indeed. Yep. He says hi. He says that don't listen to Cagliostro players. They will lie right straight to your face. He's a good boy. My tiny Eevee plushie says hi to Geef. He says hello, tiny Eevee plushie. All right. Back to work. Back to business. Enough of my human son. That's a huge plushie. He's so large, no? He's like the size of my torso. All right. Listen to me. Man, Leaf. Okay, thanks for the call. Thanks for the snitch, Besu. Necessary. Leaf, come on. I'm not gonna ban you. Let me tell you something. See you in an hour, though. Get the fuck out of here. We've talked about the squishing of a little guy. We've talked about this. All right. Can I be real with you? So Gran is really strong. And I feel like Grim players are... I will say, I have not kept my finger on the pulse with the Grims as much, but the general sentiment that I get... the general sentiment I get is... All right. Can I be real with you? So Zane, for example, I think Zane to Grimnir was top 7. Okay. Yeah, like Zane, I think says that like the character's strong, but he's better than he otherwise could be because people like don't understand some of the knowledge checks, right? And I think that's true. Right? I think Grim is very good, even if you understood everything about him. Right, and yeah, I do think he probably still is even better than he otherwise would be because a lot of people just like don't bother to learn like the amount of people who just don't even know like the frame data on the seal dashes and shit like that is very funny, right? With that in mind, right? It feels like they definitely are a little bit. It's not just Zane. Like when I hear like general when I hear Grimnir talking about Grimnir, there's some memeing by the way. Like he's a relatively memey community, but I feel like there's a lot of defensiveness about their boy, right? I think Grimnirs have some Grimnirs have a bit of a parasocial relationship with Grimnir, which you know what, fair enough. That's big. He's a cute guy. I like him, and like it feels like they get a little bit defensive when you talk about like they're like, oh, but look at all these other look at all these other characters. They're also good. Why we talk about Grimnir so much? I'm gonna start him here. I feel like overall Grim players agree that he's really good. Is the general sentiment that I hear. Right? They downplay how good he is a little bit. They're like, oh, he's pretty good. But like, look at that guy over there, right? But like, I feel like they usually agree that the character is top tier. It's just more so that they don't want to hear it. Like they're like, yeah, he's top tier, but like, can we talk about nerfing that Belial guy or that Lucillius guy or something else instead, right? So it feels like some minor deflection and defensiveness, but I think Grims are honest-ish about the character, right? Now, please nerf Grimnir. There you go. Yeah, like again, I think most Grimnirs that I hear, like they agree he's top tier. They just like don't want you to talk about it too much. Like they kind of want to go like, hey, okay, let's talk about Lucillius. Let's talk about Belial. Let's talk about X or Y or Z. Right? All right. Speaking of which, by the way, let's talk about Lucillius. Who the fuck plays like who's like a main of this guy, right? Generally, when I feel like the only times that I hear people talk about the character, yeah, it feels like Katalina to me, where they just go like, Blade level 5, GG, shake my hand, right? Like I feel like the character is very good, and I feel like I don't really hear people talking about any, like no one even, it's because Tav, people are saying Tav. I have not seen what Tav says about Lucillius, right? But like, I almost want to feel like a lot of people who play Lucillius right now are almost like not Lucillius mains. Like they're like refugees from other characters, right? Like people who like picked up other characters after the patch, right? Yeah, it feels like, yeah, but I feel like more Belial mains were Belial mains before the patch, because Lucy got, like, Giga buffed, right? Paradise Lost is all I hear. Yeah, shit like, give praise, for he has no equal. Like, I feel like Lucillius is very good, and the Lucillius players, by and large, tell you to go fuck yourself, right? Like, they say, like, yep, hold that shit. all Lucy mains I've talked to say it was more interesting before he did 10k damage off any poke, because they were pretty honest about it. Yeah, I will say though, I will say. On, remember when I said that out of any community, the people who were the most optimistic about like that Versusia trailer video, right, were the Bubses, right? Like they saw that thing and they went, yo, if I can count patch day, it is very funny in hindsight now how sad the Lucies were about the buffs, right? Like cast your mind back to about 4 months ago, right? The Lucies were like, I can't believe we didn't get anything. They buffed moves we don't even use. This character's still gonna be mid. Like, I think they very quickly realized they were wrong, right? But like, it is funny in hindsight to just think like the Lucy. Yeah, like I almost want to put them in the trailer sucks for Lucillius. Sure, yeah, like it didn't. They didn't show like the blade level stuff, which is the most important stuff, right? But I mean, even then, you know, you could just be like, well, let's fucking wait for the patch notes. 4 months ago, there was a seppuku line for Narm players. Yeah. So I don't think it really is going to factor into it, right? I don't think it's really going to factor into it because again, it's very like right now I think, and for the last little bit for several months, it's been very honest, right? But it is just funny to think about. Tweet about 214M and blade level 5 damage, and I knew top 5 was ours. Okay, yeah. The dooming got to us all. Yeah. Dude, okay. Can I be honest with you? This is the character. Remember when I talked earlier about how like I feel like Narm Flip gets like such a crazy disproportionate amount of hate for being a good move, like it's so crazy. The 2B, I don't know what 2B players are drowned in the largest wave of negativity from the greater community that exists in Gran Blue, right? Like, I have no idea what the fuck 2B players say about 2B because none of you motherfuckers who don't play the character will shut up about how much you hate this character, right? I have no idea what 2B mains think about the character. I don't hear anything from them. It's all just like people who just don't like the fact that they can't play Gran Blue the same way against her, do it like consistent. When Nier was top 1, 2B got more hate than Nier did, it feels like, right? So I genuinely, I don't know. Like, I actually don't know what 2B players think about 2B. Because, again, I don't hear anything except motherfuckers who don't play 2B telling me about just how much she fucking sucks to fight. So I don't know. I couldn't tell you, right? Like, genuinely, I have not heard anything. It's like, they're so drowned. Morphin later the biggest 2B down players? Yeah, maybe. But so much of, like, this is the character, more than any other character, I don't know what the 2B mains say. 2B mains downplay incredibly hard except for that one player. I honestly don't know. Like, you guys could be right. I personally feel like I have not heard anything about 2B that doesn't come from some motherfucker who doesn't play 2B, right? The only sort of sentiment I heard is people talking about, people said the patch, 2Bs seemingly could not agree on whether the patch is a good thing or a bad thing, right? But like, I couldn't tell you. I genuinely do not know. So much of like every time I try to cast my mind back and think about something I've heard from 2B, there's just such a fucking wall of whining. Yeah, Vermilion said she's very good, for example. Yeah, Vermilion, like, I mean, got top 8 at Evo, thinks she's very good, right? So like, but every time I try to cast my mind back to like what a 2B has said about the character, my memory banks run into a wall of whining from motherfuckers who don't play 2B. So I don't know. You know what? The meter buff plus the run slide is huge. True. I think, though, to be fair, I think like once that run slide stuff was figured out, I don't think I've heard too many people talking about I say people. I don't know what the 2Bs say, man. I honestly can't tell you. You know what? I'm gonna tell you just because this one I kind of want people to take out of context. I'm gonna put her in honest, right? You know, I'm gonna put her in minor upplay. I'm gonna put her in minor upplay because you motherfuckers piss me off. That's it, right? Because the sheer amount of hate I hear about 2B is like genuinely annoying. To the point that I'm gonna put her in minor upplay, you can take a screenshot and go for it, man. Fuck you, right? Like, for real, right? Like, yes, like, this is, everything else here is my honest opinion. This is a hater take. I think she's probably, like, honest Abe or minor downplay or something, but fuck you. Because, like, I'm just so upset at the community at large for just how much they complain about this character. Last thing I heard about 2B, she got worse but more fun at 1.5? Yep. Morph gonna be gooning to the VOD? Yeah. That's it. Also, Snoop, thanks to the bits, man. I got she's honest because I'm the only 2B I know? Yeah. Even Lade, who won Dream Hacks, and she's like top 20 half the time. Listen, man, you can put her right there, right? Agreed, spitting, yeah. Like, I just don't like 2B is honestly more than Nier, more than any character. I do not care to hear your opinion on 2B anymore. I've heard so it's just this constant. If you're ever playing Gran Blue Fantasy versus Rising and 2B is even like within remotely like a whiff of the distance of the screen, there is just some background radiation the entire time that is just people just hate this character, and I fucking get it. So you know what? 2B mains are up playing. Maybe she's bottom 5. Okay, maybe she's bottom 5 and she needs buffs next patch. Honestly, fucking buff her in the season 2 patch because I'm sick of you motherfuckers. I want 2B to be undisputed top 1. Okay, let's go. All right. These Vane players, man. The sheer quantity of Vane players. It feels like upplay to me most of the time that I hear Vane players talking about Vane. However, yeah, I mean, like, they feel hopeful, right? Like I think Vane, Hopium or memes, like he got better. Like I think it's, I was gonna say minor upplay too. He got better in the patch. Like he got better in the patch, and I think he got some like needed buffs. But I feel like it feels to me like the Vane players talk about him like he got a little bit better than he actually did, right? Yeah, I'm gonna put him in like minor upplay. I'm gonna put him in minor upplay, right? Nahi meme. I hear Vane's talking about the strength of the character every now and then, though, right? Most of them are like, but look at the damage. Yeah, exactly. I feel like you know, it feels like they're. Yeah, it feels like Vanes are a little bit more hopeful about the character than I am, right? Oh, yeah, there you go. Junior Jam talking about top 1 Lowain. Bro, Junior Jam, I was going to put this guy in Hopium, but then I remembered Salt, okay? I was going to put him Hopium. You guys, like, there's no community that is, like, happier about their character than you, but then I remembered about Salt Prophet, and I was like, nah, he's minor upplay. That's my bad. He's minor upplay. It's either they generally talk about, it or broken ass Vane. Yeah. All right. Beatrix. I feel like the Beatrix players. I feel like everyone. This is another one of those characters where I feel like everyone talks about the Beatrix players. They talk about their character for them enough, right? Like I feel like B players don't need to like give their opinion because it's obvious. And like again, this is not quite as bad anymore. This is a character people did not shut the fuck. It is so funny the switch from like God, like I love this character. I love B. I can't wait for B in the game. Whatever, right? Into just like this character is a blight on the earth and shit like that. I feel like Beatrix players don't talk about this character because everyone else talks for them. I'm gonna put her here. I think I'm gonna put her here just because like genuinely Beatrix players like don't talk about her. Everyone else talks for them, and they just kind of go like, yeah. Maybe honest. Because yeah, it's like yeah, maybe honest. I don't feel like I see that much memeing. They talk about like them not thinking a bunch, but it feels honest to me. Again, she's like, yeah, she's good. She's very good. I'm probably the only Vane player that doesn't complain about him to some extent. I mean, I think there's valid things to complain about. B, I hate because she has a lot of tools and I can't guess right 75% of the time. Yeah, but again, it's not like how strong she actually is. It's how honest her community feels about it to me, right? Never heard a Beatrix main talk. They're busy playing the game. Incredibly based of them. Incredibly based. I feel like I've never heard any sort of discourse saying that Beatrix is anything but like pretty good, right? So like very good. So I'm just gonna put her in honest and we'll move on. Versusia. I feel like most of the Versusias I hear talk about the character kind of say that she's fine, right? I haven't. I'm gonna be so honest. Minor downplay, maybe. Oh, you know what it is? Okay, I'll tell you what it is. I'll tell you why you're right, Azur. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think back into like what have I heard Versusia players talking about? And I think one thing that Versusia players talk about a lot is like I think they talk about some matchups of hers like they're a little bit worse than they are, right? It's not horrible. Like this is not nothing crazy, right? But I feel like Versusia mains sometimes talk about like you know the like Ferry matchup is like literally unplayable or something, but all this character while playing her is agony. I don't know about all that. I think minor. These guys are not like the Versusia players are not in anyone's crossroads, right? I don't think they're in anyone's sights. I think minor downplay maybe. Not but our matchups are so bad, I'm lying to your face. Yeah, I feel like I hear a little bit of dooming about certain matchups with this character where like I think she actually probably has like a decent amount of tools to handle most things, right? So we'll put her in minor downplay and move on. Just because I feel like I have heard some takes from Versusias about Versusia that I don't disagree with. Or sorry, that I do disagree with, right? Alright. Can I be honest with you? This is a problem. Because I still have not fully figured out in my head how strong Vakala is. How strong I think she is, right? Because again, the whole point of this tier list is how good do I think the character is versus how good do the mains of the character project that she is. The problem is I don't know what I think about Vakala just yet, right? Vakala is bad? That's a sentiment I hear. Yeah, I hear that she's horrible. I don't know that that's quite true. I'm not sure. I also don't know who mains Vakala. Yeah, like this is Vicky goes down, goes in downplates and try to get her buffed on God. So true. It's me, Vikala's strongest soldier. This is like the only one, honestly, that I just don't know. Like, I couldn't tell you because, like, one, I have not really a lot of discourse on Vikala. I'm not sure who's a Vikala main and who's just like talking about Vikala, right? And then I also personally don't actually have a very solid opinion of how good Vikala is yet. She's not great, but I don't know exactly like how bad is she, right? Is the question I have to answer for myself. I guess it depends on how good you do against zoning. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, most of the time that I hear Vikala players talking about Vikala, they are going, Lucky Cookie Vicky. Can I be real with you? Like, they're just talking about Lucky Cookie Vicky over and over, and like, they're just like chanting it in a crowd over, like, just over and over. Like, when I hear Vikala's, when I hear everyone else talk about Vikala, they talk about how shit she is. When I hear Vikala's talk about Vikala, it's usually some kind of memeing. I might cop out and put her in only memes just because, yeah, I might cop out and put her in only memes just because it's the only thing that I'm, like, certain to say. The memes are dancing rat, yeah, like, you know, rat barrage, domain expansion, etc., etc. Vic players are on the brain, right? Yeah. It seems like most are just memeing half the time. Yeah, like, the chat right here, Lucky Cookie Vicky, exactly. No one's in Hopium, huh? Is no one in Hopium? Yeah, Shin Kiko. Is no one in Hopium? Is that real? You know what? Just because I think it sends a nice statement about the Lowain players. Salt Prophet, it's fine. You know what, Salt? It's fine. It's okay. It's okay. You can go over here. It's fine. Salt doesn't like Lowain. I think it looks funny this way, right? I think the tier list looks funnier with Lowain being the only character in Hopium. No, I think that looks great. I think it just fits. Like, it just personality wise, it just fits really well. So we're gonna do that. Let's go Lowain. Yeah, Lowain top 1, right? I feel like Lowains are very, outside of Salt Prophet, Lowains are super enthusiastic about Lowain in almost every way. But like, where they're kind of similar to all these guys down here who are just memeing, like, the enthusiasm like carries into the strength of the character. I screen cap this, it's funny, yeah. I mean, listen, this is never not gonna be a divisive video, we'll see. The best case scenario is that I upload this shit and it gets like 50 views and we go from there. Otherwise, this video, you know what this is? This is a fucking mousetrap. This video is exactly, you can do something on YouTube where you can like hide people from the channel, where like it's a shadow ban. Like, they don't realize that no one else can see their comments, but no one else can see only they can see them. I can't see them and no one else watching the video can see them, right? This video is gonna be a mousetrap to catch motherfuckers who like I need to hide, who have somehow like gotten under the radar so far. I'm gonna shoot some motherfuckers for sure, I think. Brick being placed in Ladiva trader or wanted posters right now. Listen, Ladivas, I talked about it at length, okay? I'm sorry, but like I feel like if I'm gonna put Ferry up here, I have to put us up here too, I think. These characters are not good, and yet all their communities talk about is how unplayable they are, and I feel like that's a little bit too much, right? Interaction bait, world's greatest bait is going crazy. No, but this is not intended to be bait. Like, these, outside of this is the only thing that is not my honest opinion, right? If you wanted, like, she's probably somewhere here, to be real with you, right? But like, this is bait. Like, this is because I'm mad at everyone who doesn't, like, I'm sick of you motherfuckers, right? The rest of this is my honest opinion, for real. It's just going to end up being bait, right? Like, it's gonna end up, people are not gonna be happy about this, I'm sure. Revert to Yuel Perry daily posts are rampant. Interesting. Can't wait for Brick to play too. Oh, it's gonna be so, I almost don't want to. It's gonna be so fucking annoying. Okay. Can't even blame you if you voice my opinions. If I voice my opinions on that character, I'd probably be banned from the channel. Yeah, exactly. All right, that is gonna do it for the tier list, I think, or I guess more so for the I guess it is a tier list, yeah. Fun times. Let me one last skin, right? So when people insult me about this, and the people, I already saw people in quotes talking about Vaseraga, you know, talking about Narn, talking about Vira, talking about Ferry, talking about, like, you know, let me just see. Can I stand behind this? I think I can stand behind this. And the 2B one, I'm just gonna pretend it's my opinion. I'm gonna go, yup, skill issue. If you lose to 2B, you're bad. I'm sorry. And then we'll go from there. Co-pilot, get the fuck out of my face. Want to say again why Djeeta is there? I think Gran and Djeeta both, I think they get to, because they're not the craziest Shotos in the game, I think their players get away with being like, my character just plays honest footsies, when there's a lot of stupid shit with them still, right? We're gonna have to add new rules to the chat when he plays 2B. I probably might not. I might, maybe we just don't have to get her to master. You know, maybe we can just do almost the entire cast. Every character with a 6XL to master. I love honest footsies, yeah. Let's all be thankful Brick doesn't have a Twitter. Oh, baby. Maybe I should make one. Oh, bro, could you imagine? I make a Twitter, this is my first post. That would be crazy, no? That would be fun. Is 2B on the ban list? He fucking might be now. Who knows? All right. That's gonna do it for the video. Djeeta players have always thought they're all about honest footsies. Yeah, and she's not. Like, she kind of is in some ways, but like, she's not. Let's not be crazy. All right, that is gonna do it. We're gonna play. Oh, actually, we're not gonna. We're gonna do some Guilty Gear next. I think again, this Saturday will be the last day that we have like all 3 games in one day like this. Tomorrow is all Gran Blue. Monday is gonna be all Guilty Gear, and Tuesday is gonna be all Street Fighter. And we're going to switch. We're gonna keep that up forever moving forward. But today is kind of like a transitionary period. It's gonna be the last one where you have all 3 like this. So we are gonna move over to Strive in a second here. We're probably not gonna play POTS actually. I have an interesting idea for Strive for December since I am new. And I think it could be something we could do that's fun. But we'll see. Real quick, VOD watchers, hello, hi. If you like the video, then be sure to like the video. And comment, subscribes, comments. Listen, you can disagree with me. That's fine. Obviously, this is very subjective, right? But like, I guess do your best. If you've gotten this far, at least do your best to be civil about it, right? If you don't, it's fine. I'll just shadow ban your ass, and you'll never, it's fine. It's okay. If you need a place to vent, that's fine. I also stream every day from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern, except for Friday. So come by and hang out on Twitch or YouTube for the streams there. I also have a Discord, great place to hang out, make some friends, get some matches. But if you do join, be nice, or I'll shoot you in the head in Minecraft. Most importantly, I hope you had a great time hanging out today. I know I sure did. This is a fun tier list, man. This is a very divisive tier list, I'm sure. I mean, let me think. Like this. I feel like people are not going to be happy about this one. I feel like people are probably not going to be happy about this one. I mean, this one I did that on purpose. People might disagree about this. Maybe people don't think that some of these top tiers are honest. Who knows? Regardless, though, I stand behind it. Having a lot of fun with Gran Blue. Going to be a lot more coming your way. And until then, I will see you in the next one. Peace.